a while back with the political analyst Danston Omari on that particular visit to Gusiiland, Kisii County and Nyamira County by the President and his deputy. Danston Omari still is in studio to help us analyze that particular visit. You said each and every place he goes has been carefully selected because they're friendlier to him. But there's a question I asked earlier on. Given how Nyamira and Kisii counties voted in 2013, 67% for Raila Odinga, 68% for Raila Odinga as well for both Kisii and Nyamira, why do we have word that this could be a swing vote? What happened between 2013 and now?
In 2013, the question that was before the Abagusi was the neighborhood vis-a-vis a person who was very far. Very many people opted to be nearer Raila Odinga because of proximity that all these regions come from Nyanza. Come 2013, 2014, the creation of government, Omogusi felt that he has been completely ignored. Why? Jubilee went still using the old channels over the Kibaki regime, the one family aspect of the Musa Nyandusi and the Nyachai family, so that people resented that question. So people started to distance themselves more further from Jubilee. Jubilee lost face even much more up to around 1 week ago. The reason being that Jubilee continued to use the same appointment that have been used since 1964. When you're talking about Charles Nyachai, you're talking about Chris Obure, when you're talking about these people. So people felt more closer to Raila Odinga. That might not be the position as from the start of this week. Remember, the question Omogusi was asking that NASA, when NASA came in, and people like Professor Ngeri moved to that area, there was a lot of excitement in the Omogusi nation that at least we as the Kisiis are going to get a serious position at the table of NASA. Nothing has happened. So the people already, I was in Nyamira last week, people asking, what is there for us as the Kisiis in NASA? No explanation is being given. Two, the approach that Jubilee is taking from the last 2 weeks is that those faces of the people who were not seen to represent the interests of the Kisiis have been pushed back. Remember, between the Kisii and the Omogusi nation, there are sibling rivalry. The county of Nyamira feels that the county of Kisii has always dominated the politics of Nyamira and issues of appointment. So the Nyamira people feel that they would have wanted the president to deal with them as Nyamira people. For the first time, you've seen the president has directly gone to Nyamira without starting from Kisii. And the organizers are the Nyamira people. So I feel that slowly the president is getting to learn their mistakes, and the Jubilee is slowly and steadily gaining momentum. If NASA does not correct that image, the president and his party will have a huge chunk of the votes that are hanging.
So is the ground shifting?
The ground is shifting, and in the Omogusi nation, the grounds will continuously shift always after every 2 weeks because the dynamics are changing. When NASA appears organized, the Omogusi nation is comfortable inside. When NASA feels totally disorganized, like now the way it looks, the Omogusi people are asking, why are we heading to a destination that has no shape? So for now, my good sister Kiss, I'll tell you, it is still very early to determine where the Omogusi vote is. But in essence, the Omogusi believes that he is supposed to be NASA. Ndani kwa ndani. But if NASA misbehaves, the Omogusi will shift base.
So what are the conversations that will shape the Gusiiland politics, apart from Amutuwetu getting an appointment? What are these things that would really entice the Kisii voter?
The Omogusi has grievances that needs to be addressed. One, the Omogusi is a serious farmer. The question of tea, the inequality of payment of tea bonuses between regions in Mount Kenya and regions in the larger Gusiiland. Bad difference, nobody has ever explained why bonuses in Kisii is almost a half of the tea bonuses in other regions. Two, the banana industry has collapsed. The Omogusi opened a branch of the factory of bananas in Kisii that has closed. Three, the question about the unemployment of the Kisiis. The Omogusi has no land. land has gone to be so scant. So how do we get any form of factories in Kisii? There are quite a number of tea factories in Kisii that have not transformed into being employment centers. The university called the Kisii University is the biggest factory for employment for the Kisiis. None has been dealt with. That issue has not been addressed adequately. The question of the porous border between Chebilate to Kilgoris, there is cattle rustling between the Rift Valley region and the Kisii region and Nyamira regions. Why is there still cattle rustling in two areas that don't have pastoralists? The Bomet guys, the people in Kilgoris are not nomads. Why is it that there is that issue? That has not been addressed. Also the question of roads, feeder roads. Kisiis are farmers. They will want feeder roads that are directly possible for the Kisiis to take their produce to the factory. So those issues compounded, they make NASA more attractive than Jubilee. But if the president will address those issues, and lastly, the question of the IDPs.
All right.
Very many Kisiis were chased from Rift Valley. Very many Kisiis, very many sons and daughters of Gusii lost their property. They have never been compensated. So if the president is able to address those grievances, I'm definitely a Kisii, I'm telling you, there will be chance that they will change their position.
All right. Let's wait and see how this works out. Danston, thank you so much for coming in. Danston Omari, a political analyst. And remember, we are also going to go live